Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to be taking a shared look right into the heart of family psychology today. We're basically translating some really profound source material into a visual guide, and it's specifically meant to support you through what is arguably the most beautiful yet incredibly demanding journey there is, motherhood. Every single stage, from kindergarten straight through to those turbulent teen years, brings its own unique set of challenges. But today, we're really honing in on how to build strength when crises hit and understanding the absolute essentials of raising a resilient child, specifically by looking at the concepts of roots and wings. So let's dive right in.
The hardest experience of motherhood is seeing that your child suffers. When reviewing the source material for this explainer, this sentiment just jumps right off the page. I mean, you nurtured this child, you did everything with the best of intentions, and then suddenly you just hit a wall. Watching your child in pain evokes this visceral, almost physical reaction in us, right? It brings up extreme emotions because we are so deeply connected to them that their suffering literally almost becomes our own. It's a very heavy, instinctive sense of helplessness, and I want to say right up front that feeling this way is completely valid.
Part 1. When your child suffers, navigating the crisis. To put things into perspective, we're currently facing a bit of an epidemic where up to 25% of youth experience severe mental health struggles. The sources behind this are complex. We're talking academic pressure, digital overload, family stress. This is not an isolated issue. It's our new reality. And the crisis itself is totally multidimensional. Behaviorally, you might see things like sudden irritability, risk-taking, or even explosive aggression out of nowhere. Emotionally and cognitively, there's often this severe isolation and a total chaos of thoughts. Honestly, it sometimes resembles a wounded animal just retreating from the world. Physiologically, all that massive stress can actually manifest as stomach aches, severe headaches, or trouble sleeping. The absolutely crucial point here isn't just to spot these symptoms, but to closely monitor how long they last and how intense they are so you can begin to truly understand what your child is going through.
Part 2. The hidden burden of motherhood, the internal struggle. So how do you instinctively react when your child's world falls apart? Because when they suffer, the whole family system gets thrown off balance. Instantly, this internal chaos just takes over. We immediately think, wait, what did I do wrong? Guilt creeps right in. Shame tells us to hide the problem from everyone else. And then our absolute specialty, overanalyzing and relentless worry, takes the wheel, leaving us with this overwhelming sense of helplessness. But our ultimate goal is to cross over to a state of constructive support. That means finding stability, maintaining our presence, figuring out the root causes, and actually seeking outside help without escalating the fear. The million-dollar question is, of course, how do we get from that debilitating chaos over to that calm, supportive presence?
Part 3. The oxygen mask rule. Help yourself first. Well, the instruction manual for helping your child, whether they're 5 or 18, actually starts with the instruction manual for yourself. Think about when you're on a flight and they go through the emergency demo. The rule is brutally simple but highly effective. Step 1, put your own oxygen mask on first. Step 2, assist your child. Why? Because if you pass out from a lack of oxygen, you literally cannot save anyone. It is the exact same thing in a family crisis. You absolutely cannot anchor your child through their fears or difficulties if you are completely depleted, consumed by anxiety, and running on empty from parental burnout. Your stability is their oxygen. Okay, so once you've got your oxygen flowing, then you can focus on building your child's deep psychological resilience. Our sources really highlight 2 fundamental things, 2 immense gifts you can give them to help them weather any storm life throws their way. These 2 gifts form the absolute essence of conscious motherhood.
Part 4. Roots, a sense of safety and grounding.
You can think of a child as being very much like a tree. To survive life's biggest storms and strongest winds, they need to be deeply grounded in the soil. And that soil is you, your family, and the environment you created home. These roots are made up of unconditional love, core life values based on respect, and a really deep, unwavering sense of safety. A super crucial element here is predictability. When you act as a stable, predictable adult, basically a safe harbor, you're actually allowing your child to learn how to regulate their own emotions. Even if they stumble, make mistakes, or wander into toxic relationships down the road, these strong roots ensure they always know they have a safe, secure place to return to.
Part 5. Wings, trust, freedom, and fostering independence.
Now, once those roots are strong, it is time for wings. And this represents a massive shift in energy. You're moving away from holding them close and protecting them all the time toward a fostering true independence, freedom, and really trusting in their potential. Because, you can't protect your child from every single hardship they're going to face in adult life.
The true magic happens when these two elements balance each other out perfectly. Your deeply grounded roots provide the secure harbor, which in turn gives your child the courage and the lightness to use their wings and fly forward into adulthood. Blow into your child's wings instead of worrying. This is arguably the most powerful takeaway from our sources today. It's just a brilliant call to action for mothers to abandon that exhausting cycle of overanalyzing and constantly anticipating the worst-case scenario. Instead, trust. Just trust that your child, equipped with the strength and agency you've helped them build, will figure things out. Instead of sowing seeds of anxiety and holding them back with your own fear, be the wind beneath their wings that helps them soar higher.
Part 6. The Good Enough Mom. Embracing Imperfection.
Look, hearing all of this, you might be feeling an immense pressure to be some kind of flawless robot who never makes a single mistake. Let's completely drop that heavy weight right now. Let's dismantle the myth of the perfect mother and the perfect child, because they simply do not exist. What does exist, and what the research actually supports, is being the good enough mother. Literally nobody expects you to be perfectly attuned and dialed in 24 hours a day. You're going to have bad days. You will absolutely lose your patience sometimes. But being a stable, safe harbor who trusts herself, seeks a constructive connection, and tries to understand her child's emotions, that is everything. Simply being that reliable, good enough presence is the ultimate key to your child's security. We're going to wrap up this explainer with one profound, vital question. What does it mean for you to be a good enough mother? Not according to some parenting textbook, not compared to an influencer on social media, or even your next-door neighbor, but for you in your unique home with your unique child. I really want to leave you to ponder that, because defining your own beautiful path forward is where true empowerment lies. Just remember, securing your own oxygen mask first is what ultimately allows you to give your child both the roots they need to feel safe and the wings they need to fly. Thanks so much for joining me.